At first glance, Flint, Michigan, and Kabwe, Zambia might not seem to have a lot in common. Flint used to be home to one of the leading manufacturers of automobiles, while Kabwe relied heavily on the mining industry. Both of these towns had once been bustling with business, but were both abandoned by their industry. This resulted in poor communities with high levels of environmental toxins due from lead. In April 2014, the city of Flint, Michigan announced that their water supply was to be switched temporarily from Detroit's water system to the Flint River in an attempt to save money. In October of the same year, citizens began to notice changes in the water's color, odor, and taste. Citizens of Flint were found with high levels of lead in their systems from using the water in their homes. Residents began to experience side effects of lead poisoning, some of which include skin lesions, hair loss, vision loss, anxiety, and in some cases, depression. Flint Mayor Karen Weaver said in a statement that more funding will be needed for special education services because lead can affect children's IQ and cause learning disabilities. She also said that more funding will be needed for mental health services due to the rising rates of mental illness in the Flint community. Weaver also speculated that more children and teens would be entering the juvenile justice system and that there would be a greater need for adoptive and foster parents. While Flint finally switched back to the Detroit's water supply in the fall of 2015, many other projects are underway to manage this crisis. To ensure a safer water supply, the EPA is conducting water testing to reduce the levels of lead in tap water. They're also collecting water samples to better understand how the lead is behaving in the plumbing of Flint homes and established a Flint Safe Drinking Water Task Force. Lead removal filters are also being widely distributed in Flint to remove lead from household water. FEMA is providing bottled water, water filters, and water test kits for citizens. The USDA has been giving out vouchers for ready-to-feed infant formula, which doesn't have to be mixed with water, and allows mothers to swap their powdered formula for the USDA-approved formula. Michigan's Department of Education received additional funding for the Fresh Fruits and Vegetables program, which allows schools to purchase food high in vitamin C, which has been known to keep lead out of the body. In 1902 to 1994, Kabwe, Zambia mined zinc and lead deposits. After the infrastructure was no longer needed, the leftover lead dust poisoned the soil and the waterways, which affected the agriculture and the residents who breathed in the air. The lead in the soil and the water has caused Kabwe, Zambia to become the 10th most polluted city in the world. The pollution in Kabwe affects 255,000 people, including children. The level considered dangerous is 5 micrograms per deciliter. 25% of the children have levels up to 65 micrograms per deciliter. The children have become contaminated when they play in the soil near the mines. Lead interferes with neural connections, and because little kids are growing so much, the damage caused from playing in the lead concentrated dirt and sticking their fingers into their mouths, the damage is often irreversible. Workers who scavenge the mines for scraps of metal are the most susceptible to lead poisoning. It's not just the mining that happened years ago. These people are also breaking car batteries and smelting down the batteries for spare lead. This process can get to the children and others through the air and the water. The local non-governmental organization called CURF is trying to educate the local community on how to avoid lead poisoning and what the potential effects are. In conclusion, both of the towns, Flint, Michigan, and Kabwe, Zambia, are left debilitated by their once thriving industries and now have to deal with the ramifications of their actions for years to come. The high levels of lead in these communities have left devastating effects on what we can only hope to be resolved through the actions of the local governments and environmental agencies.